Hello everyone, my name is Poncho. I'm a content creator on YouTube, a rank 27 Snorlax Global in Pokemon Unite, and a pretty good stream creator. A lot of people ask me questions, Poncho, how do you get your stream to pop up when you say Super Saiyan, that amazing flames that cover the screen? Yeah, there we go. How do you get it to whenever you say the word gangster, it makes it sound gangster like that? Gangster, gangster. And most importantly, Poncho, how do you get it to pop up when you say certain people's names on the stream, like Stormy Sensei? You get a pop-up of a picture with their name on it. Now, I get these questions and more all the time, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff that I can't answer for you, like how do you make your soundboard work? How do you make your keyboard make gun sounds? You know, that's because I have a very special keyboard, but there's something you can do right now today that's gonna make your stream pop up, stuff like that, and more. Whatever your heart desires, you can manipulate it however you want. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the button if you thought that was impressive and helpful. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly how, by making my stream from scratch, I'm gonna show you how I can possibly help you make your stream better too. So let's go to it.
Whoa.
So for this situation to work, you're gonna need a couple different programs, right? I'm gonna show you right here. Here's OBS Studio, which I've already downloaded on this new computer. There is Streamer.Bot. You have to go to type in Streamer.Bot on your computer, okay? And you can go to the web page and download it for Windows, Mac, or Linux, okay? This is Streamer.Bot. And then the final tool that you need, there's a web socket. I'm going to go ahead and go to it real quick. WebSocket 4.9.1 compat, LBS 28 plus. Okay, now as far as I know, this is the only way I can get it to make it work, okay? I had to download this WebSocket, which makes you have an option in OBS to use WebSocket 4x compat in the settings, which I'm going to show you all that later, okay? So for now, those three programs, you'll be able to actually change your OBS to interact with your Streamer.Bot, okay? I assume most of you guys, if you're at this video, you're pretty familiar with OBS, right? So, here, let me just make it. So, OBS, you make a scene. I call it nested scene. That's a tool that you're going to be using a lot, okay? Nested scene is a scene that you put in other scenes to make that scene have pop-ups, basically, what it is. And then I've added this Pokemon GIF. See, this is the visibility. I toggle it. It pops up. I toggle it again. It goes away, okay? Now, that's important to remember. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Streamer.Bot after we've downloaded it from the website, right? And we have to go to platform. No, Stream Apps. I'm sorry. Here, let's go ahead and delete this so I can show you guys exactly how I do it. Okay, so we're going to add a connection, right? We're going to call it Bill's OBS because this is my new account, Bill Ginzuz, right? I'm going to go to version 4.9 because I've already downloaded the page, right? And the password, I shouldn't need a password because if you look here, this is how you can tell, okay? If you've downloaded the application correctly, you see WebSocket server settings 4x compat is an option, okay? So you click that. It's server port 4444. That's fine. It's just as long as it matches what's in the other program. And then the password, I didn't click enable authentication. I recommend you do and you make a password. But if you're having trouble, try clicking it off, okay? Because I'm not using a password. So then I click lock server to only using IPv4 and I enable system tray alerts. That's just to see if anything bad is happening. And I click OK. Okay? Now, if I go back to Streamer.Bot, that 127.0.0.1, that should work, okay, if I did everything correctly. Password, I don't need one. I'm going to click auto connect on startup. I'm going to click reconnect on disconnect, just in case you lose connectivity. I'm going to click OK. It says disconnected right here. I'm going to go to connect, and now I am connected. So you see over here, this is how you really know. My current scene is nested scene, and the sources are Pokemon GIF. You see that? That's how you know, because it's actually reading what's in my OBS right now. Nested scene and Pokemon GIF, okay? So here's where it gets fun. Let's have a little fun with it now, okay? We go back to Streamer.Bot, and there's all these options at the top. It looks a little tantalizing, okay? There's action cues, commands, but the first thing we need to set up is our action, okay? And that's going to have to do with the little picture of a Snorlax right here that we have. I've dragged it I've dragged a file in and I've used it as a source in my nested scene. You can do this with MP4, like you see here, MP3, or a GIF. Either one. You could also do a picture, but that's a little harder. So let's go ahead and start with this one, the Pokemon GIF, right? I want to make a command so that whenever I say snore, it pops up. Or maybe Snorlax, right? Something like that. So I'm going to add a command, an action. I'm sorry, I'm adding an action. It'll be called Snorlax pick. Group, not going to matter. Q, default. I'm going to say always run and exclude from action Q/pending history, okay? For a trigger, we need to add a voice control. Dictation has been working for me better. So I've already made all of these. These are my voice control commands. So if you go over to here, I'll show you real quick. If you go over to the voice control, here's the log. It tells you what you're saying in the mic, right? Kind of. It says it's so hard to make all the seizure of voice control, and some people were $228 of which. So that's funny. It's not really hearing me, right? So what I had to do was I go to my commands and look. So whenever I say snore, I type the name of it, snore, right? And the command is if I say the word snore, okay? Location anywhere. So that means it's anywhere in the sentence. I override the global confidence threshold and put the confidence threshold to 0, so it always hears me, right? But here's the problem. Watch this. Snore. Okay, that didn't work, right? So that's when you have to add all these different ones. Slower, because when I looked at the text-to-speech log, look what happens when I say snore. It says soar, right? So it'll misunderstand you sometimes. So you have to add a lot of commands for just one command, right? So this one I say and slower. This one I say slower. This one I say slower with a capital. And then I've added these two. I don't actually know why I have these. Those are probably redundant. Okay. So let's go ahead and make a new command right now just so I can show you guys. Add a voice command. I'm going to call it Snorlax. And I think the word is sewer is what they always think that I'm saying. Let's add sewer, location, anywhere, override global, confidence threshold 0. Okay. So let's go back to our actions. Set a trigger for voice control. Command or dictation. And we're going to go to snore and add it. And then we're going to go to, let's go ahead and add voice control, dictation. We're going to add slower as it, okay? Then we're going to add voice control, dictation. And we're going to add one more slower on it, okay? Sub action is the most important part. So this is where you go to OBS, right? You're going to go to sources. You're going to set source visibility state, right? Connection, builds OBS, nested scene. It's going to be Pokemon.gif, and I'm going to set it to toggle, okay? So this is what we're doing with our voice. We're going like this. We're clicking this, okay? So watch. Snore. Sewer. Slower. Okay, there we go. So you have to say slower for Snorlax to pop up. Slower. You could also make it an easier word if you wanted to. Like you have to mess with the text to speech a lot to figure out what it's actually think you're saying, okay? Slower. See, it's working. Okay, there we go. There's our first thing done. Now we can do the same thing with this Giphy.mp4. I'll play it for you real quick. It's a Homer Simpson going into a slice of pizza, right? So what I did here was I did the same thing. I'm going to make an action. I'm going to call it pizza, okay? The group is any, the default is default, and it's going to go always run, exclude from action, Q/pending history, okay? The triggers, we're going to go to our, oh yeah, we have to go to our voice control, right? And look, I already have one named for pizza and one named for pizza. Let's look at the difference. This one is the command pizza, location anywhere, override global, confidence threshold 0. The command is what you say into the mic to make it pop up, okay? So I'm going to add it. And what's the difference between this pizza and that pizza? It looks like there's no difference. So I actually doubled up on pizza. I don't need that one. I was just making it for an example for you guys. Then we go back to our actions. Pizza, we have to add a trigger for it. So we go to core, and we go to voice control, and we go to dictation, and we're going to go to pizza, okay? Now, if I have a sub action set up in my OBS, I'm going to go to my sources, media state. Media state is what you want if it's an MP4, okay? So it's going to be giphy.mp4, but the state is not play. You want to hit restart so that it restarts it every time you say it, okay? So watch this. Pizza. See? And then this one is good because it disappears by itself. You don't have to toggle it. So I can say pizza. All I want. And it'll disappear by itself. That's why an MP4 is better than a GIF if you want to make a video. And the good way to do that, to get around it, is you can open up your good video editor, right? And I drag a GIF into the video editor like this, and then I just export that as a video. So I export the GIF as an MP4. That way, if you have a GIF that you're like, man, I wish that was a video, you can do it that way, okay? Now, the third thing you want to learn is the sound effects, right? That's the most important part, like this one. Laugh. It's an MP3. So guess what? That's just as easy as the next one, okay? We're going to go to our commands. We're going to add a command. We're going to call it audience, because I know from experience that the computer recognizes the word audience, okay? The group is nothing, the default is default, and we go to always run and exclude from action queue, okay? And then we're going to go to triggers, and we're going to add a trigger, right? From the core, voice control, dictation, and I'm going to go with laugh or audience, right? I made a couple examples of audience. I'll go back to that one more time just in case you guys missed it. See audience? So I clicked make a new one, and the command is audience, and the location is anywhere. And I override the global and the confidence threshold 0. What's the difference between this one? Looks like I don't need that one, actually. And this one, is that any different? No, I don't really need this one either, so I'm going to delete that one. But I'm going to show you how to make one add. Right-click add. I'm going to call it audience. And I'm going to type the word audience, because that's the word the voice control is going to recognize, right? Location, anywhere. Override global, confidence threshold 0. Now let's go see if it works. We have to go to actions, add a sub action. OBS. We're going to go to our sources. We're going to go to set media state again, because it's an MP3. So it automatically found it, laugh.mp3, see? And the state is not going to be play, right? It's going to be restart, so you don't have to try it over and over again, okay? Connection, bills OBS, okay? Now, if I say the word audience, audience, uh-oh, this one's not working. Okay, sorry guys, I figured it out. So you see right here under criteria, I had this one set to any, and that messed it up. So I have to set it to audience, okay? And I think it should actually work now. Audience. There you have it. Now, then what you do is you would make a scene, right? You would have like a scene with it'd be like a main scene, right? Okay? So what you do with this is where your camera would be, like right here is where your gameplay might be. Go to sources. So you have your main scene and your nested scene here, and you go to your sources and you click add. A scene, right? So we're gonna make our add existing nested scene to this one, right? So now our main scene, it's gonna do that every time you change. I don't know how to, oh yeah, I can teach you how to do that in the next video. But yeah, the nested scene is the one you want inside of your main scene. So now if I say something like audience or pizza, it's in my main scene as well as in my nested scene. My nested scene is a source inside of my main scene. So then you can add your camera, you know, whatever you want. You can add a video capture, right? I don't have any cameras hooked up to this computer, but yeah, so guys, that should be it. That's a good way to get started making some scenes. If you have any questions, link them to me in the comments down below, and I will be sure to help you out as good as I can, okay? I love you all, and thanks for watching this all the way to the end. If you have had any other experiences like this, you can let me know, and I will help you out.
His name is Control. You wouldn't want to be